If you like camellias but don't have the right soil, then follow these tips to grow your camellias in a container. Let's start with plant selection. I'm not going to get too distracted by the colour just yet. I'm going to look at the height and spread of the plant first to make sure the habit is going to be small enough so the plant will be happier with the restrictions of growing in a container. So I've got these two, can't quite decide at the moment. I really like this one because it's got nice big glossy leaves, vibrant bright red flowers, but it's got really healthy buds on it, and I know it's going to get away and grow strongly. Whereas this one, it's got more daintier little leaves. Again, lots of nice new buds of strong growth and very pretty pink flowers. Before we head off and look at the containers, I think we need to look at the watering requirements of a camellia, because this is a task that's often overlooked and it can lead them to looking less than happy than they'd like to. They are quite specific on their watering. If they're too dry, they can not form their flowers over the summer months. And then also if they dry out in the winter months, they can abort their buds just before they flower. Then equally, if they sit too wet, then they can suffer from root rot, or they can get a corky growth on them called oedema, and this is where the cells of the leaf pop. With the watering requirements in mind, let's have a look at the right container for this one. So, you want something that's not too big or too small. You're kind of wanting the next size up. So because if it's too small, you're going to be watering it all summer long. But equally, if it's too big, it's going to be called what we call overpotting, where there's going to be a lot of fresh compost in there that's going to sit wet and then rot off those roots. So you want something that's just right. Ericaceous compost is the one you need. This is an acidic growing medium for your camellia. You can help to bulk it up a little bit with some homemade leaf mould, because there's always room for leaf mould. This is more of a balanced pH and it shouldn't affect the acidity of your compost. With the acidity in mind, you need to be aware that using tap water will raise the pH of the compost. So ideally, as and where you can, use rainwater to help keep that acidity level. But most camellias will tell you that they would rather be a little bit yellow and healthy than wilted and green. With all that watering, you will be washing away some of those nutrients. So just to top them up, apply a specific camellia feed. This will help keep the level of the pH just right, but also help to support nice fresh growth, produce flowers, and keep them growing lovely and strong. Apply this in the springtime. Camellia feed can be added as a granular feed in the spring or applied regularly as a liquid feed, depending on which feed you like to use. In the first year after planting, you won't need to trim them too much. After that, it's a case of pruning them after flowering. So maybe shaping into wayward branches. You're pruning after flowering so they've got enough time to grow back the growth that they need to produce the flowers at the end of the summer. If you prune them too hard, you could be pruning off this kind of wood. So ideally just trim straight after flowering. Then you'll see the nice new fresh green leaves, which I absolutely adore because there's such a nice shiny leaf. And they then are nice and structural for the summer months and look great as a backdrop to lots of lovely summer colour. With these tips, you can grow camellias containers and meet their special growing requirements.